What's up, people? My framing is all over the gaff. Here we go. Damn, nice lighting today. I should start streaming earlier. I should make this a normal thing. Okay. We're going to get cracking in a minute. You guys know the drill. Community post is going to get rolled out. I know it's a little earlier than usual. I did put the pings out. So, listen. Sometimes you got to be ahead of the curve. Hopefully some of you notification motherfuckers will know. But just 2 minutes. Okay. Two seconds, people. Okay, cool. We are sweet. What's up, Turtles? Turtles, I just butchered the word before that. How are you doing, my man? It's good to see you again. How are you? Email, my guy. Okay, let me just ping the Discord, and we're gonna get flying. We're gonna get flying. I got a lot of stuff to get off my chest today. All right, a lot of stuff. Listen, I was waiting for today. I'll tell you why. I was waiting for today because you all know how much I was saying with chest the one Paddy Pimblett was going to get the W last night. And I'm just going to adjust my camera here because we're a little bit askew. I don't want to, like, accidentally pull a cable. So, yeah. Speak of the devil. Look what I fucking did. Hang on a minute. There we go. We're back and we're balling. Yeah, shut up, bro. Do you think Paddy can beat Topuria? I think he has a chance. I said this before the fight. This is what I said before. I said if you have an equalizing factor like Paddy Pimblett's jiu-jitsu, of course you have a chance. I would still obviously pick Topuria. I still don't like how Paddy leaves his chin out. I don't like how he fights with his hands down. You can't do that against a guy who is as dangerous as Topuria. But people forget the size difference is a factor. It's big. You know, the one time Topuria struggled in the UFC was against a tall, rangy guy in Jai Herbert. And Paddy's kicks are very good too. Listen, we'll entertain the thought in a little bit. I do want to just talk about the result and the fight with Chandler first. Then we'll get into it. But yeah, listen, shush, stop with this revisionism. You did not tell me that. You can go back and watch the clips. I'm pretty sure you said to clip it when I predicted Paddy would beat Chandler. But here we are. Volk's a fucking goat. I know, man. I'm so gassed, Warner. I'm so gassed. I know, he battered him. I didn't expect... I said he'd make it look easy, but I thought he would find the sub. And to be fair, he nearly did. I didn't expect the ground and pound TKO, but I thought he would find the rear naked choke. And to be fair, my prediction was nearly bang on there. There was a couple of times in that second round where he very nearly had it. And Chandler, you know, he's old, man. This is why. It was an easy fight for me. And I have to say, both guys look good. You know, Lopez as well impressed me a lot. Obviously, didn't get the nod, but he looked very good, man. My prediction was based on the fact that he would probably fade into the later rounds, but the fifth round was where he really started to shine. So, hey, what can you say? I mean, credit to him. I'm a big Lopez fan, always have been, and I will very much continue to be. Kim Su, yeah, I'm not even talking about it, bro. I was literally just watching the game now before I jumped on. I was editing the podcast, which will be out after this. Hopefully, I'm going to render it out after this, and then should put it live a bit later on, hopefully. But I was editing that while I was watching the Chelsea game. Sorry. Folks got it, man. I was low-key hoping for Lopez Yair. Hey, I mean, it makes sense. I think you can make that fight now. In fact, I think that's definitely what they're going to do. After their whole narrative and their press conference beef, I think that's the fight to make for sure. 100%. Then again, Yair did talk about Hunter Campbell saying he'd get a title shot if he won. I don't know. Especially now that Volk is the champ. There's a lot less appeal in that matchup, right? So I would prefer Yair versus Diego Lopez. If Paddy fights Ilya like he fought Chandler, he would get KO'd. That chin is as high as Mount Everest. Yeah, but he's also got a good chin as well, and that does count for something. Paddy has plot armor. Well, he doesn't. It wasn't plot armor. He put on a good performance. He doesn't need plot armor. Yeah, Kim, so I'm not going to let it piss me off, man. It's whatever. It's football. I honestly, it's just how it is. I'm not even going to... I don't even want to talk about it because it might start to annoy me if we keep yapping about Chelsea being crap. So let's not do that. I've had a pretty good day today, guys, man. I've had a pretty good day. I woke up on minimal sleep, but I still forced myself to go to an open mat this morning. I am very achy. I've just trained 2 days in a row. I really didn't want to go today, but I forced myself to. And what would you know? Of course, I enjoyed it, and I felt absolutely great afterwards. So there you go. So I had that, and I came back, started editing the pod. And obviously, I know the stream's earlier than usual today. I do apologize, just because I got some stuff on in the evening. I can't really miss, so we have to move the stream forward. But that's how it is. But we're here. You guys are here, so I appreciate it. I'm glad you saw the notifications. Chandler taking him down surprised me. He's got good wrestling. He always has good wrestling, and he's a strong dude. So I'm not surprised by that. Sean Silver looked huge for featherweight. I mean, he's just an animal, man. I'm surprised he didn't get the knockout. I mean, to be honest with you, I think he was about to land the shot anyway. He landed a good right hand right before the sub, but he saw the neck and he took it. So credit to him. You finally ready to admit Chandler's bad at fighting? I don't think he is bad. I just think Paddy's better, and I said that. You know, it's the top level of MMA, bro. None of these guys are bad. Chandler is not a bad UFC fighter. He might be 2-5. But you have to keep in mind the competition he's faced has all been elite. So, you know. Jab was Volk from Pure Art. Yeah, bro, his jab is just... Oh, it's mad. He just looked good. You can tell he's obviously very much past his prime. You can clearly see that. But this is... Listen, I'm going to say this now. This is exactly what makes him so good, is that he's so willing to adapt to his newfound shortcomings that are inevitable because of his age. Just the slight difference in speed and reaction time that he doesn't have anymore. And he knows that. He knows that. He's 36 years old. He's very much made a point of it in the build-up to that fight. So clearly they've worked on adapting his style, you know, to sort of advocate for these new shortcomings. Not advocate, so that's the wrong word. I don't know what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying, right? Adapt, right? He's a very adaptable UFC fighter. And he proved that against Lopez last night. Got dropped. You know, his chin might be a bit shot, but he got dropped, recovered very well, to his credit. And he fought a very technical, good fight. You know, on the back foot, constantly moving. The footwork was great. You know, didn't settle for the... You know, very much they clearly had a focus on movement and footwork in this camp because he did not make the same mistakes he did against Topuria in terms of backing up and being against the fence post, where there's very little room to go. Anytime Volk got backed up, he was left, right. He was making it very difficult. Scousers don't get knocked out unless you're Darren Till. Can you gauge your eyes in the general channel or the Playmaker channel? Let me have a crack at it. But how are you guys doing? How did you find the card? How are you feeling about the state of MMA, the UFC? I want to hear all about it, but I'm going to have a look at this while we do so. I think I've lost some of my text channels. I have. There we go. I accidentally had them tabbed. Play Matchmaker, yeah? Oh, I'm going to sneeze in a sec. Everywhere Volk, yeah, see, look, I know we'll get into that because I know there's been rumors about that and Volk was calling for it. I'm not interested in that fight, to be honest with you, because Evloev's boring as fuck, but I think Volk can win it. Izzy versus Hernandez? No. Why would you give out Izzy a grappler? Give him a fun striker matchup that he can actually win. Don't give him Hernandez. That's dumb. You're just feeding him to the dogs at that point. I get it, but like from a principle perspective, sure. But no, not for me. Pimblett Hooker? No, I think Pimblett deserves a bigger step up, to be honest. I think they'll do Pimblett Gaethje or Poirier, to be honest with you. One of those guys. They'll do one of those. If Poirier fights in Louisiana or something, they might do Poirier Pimblett. I like that. Urseg Temirov? Yeah, sure. Feel for Urseg, to be honest with you. Taito Vasa Mick Parkin? Yeah, sure. Jake Matthews, Michael Kess. That's a great fight. I like that a lot. Big Jake Matthews fan. That guy's got hands. Casey O'Neill, Kareem Silva? Sure. Chase Hooper, Tom Nolan. I like that. That's a good one. Jack Jenkins, Feely. Yes, great fight. Good one. Colby Thickness, Brad Katona. That's a fucking banger. That's a great shout. Great shout. And the rest, the last three, yeah, I can take and leave. They're all right. But bro, Colby Thickness, Katona that's a great bit of matchmaking. Still went for a submission after the ref warned him no to elbow Bryce's spine. Yeah, true. Chandler faces BSD. I mean, they're just going to give him fun fights. That's what Chandler's always been in the UFC. He was very much past his prime when he joined. So, you know, give him anyone. One of the best cards I've watched. So happy for Dom Reyes. So am I, man. I can't believe we haven't even talked about him, man. 3-fight knockout streak. My guy. The redemption arc is there. Maybe a nice bit of money. I had three bets on the UFC last night. I had Paddy BEAT to win, Paddy via submission, which so nearly happened, and I would have made a good bit of money if that happened, and it nearly did. And I had Krylov Reyes to be under 1.5 rounds, and it definitely was. Should have bet on Reyes as well. Changing the guard is happening. I mean, it's always Toronto. It's always a kind of seamless thing. I don't think it's a very much cut and dry thing to see the old guard shift out. It's always a natural progression. You know, you never really notice it consciously as being like one time early. It's just how it goes. Chandler's 39. It's not like any surprise, right? I've been down my whole life. Went 5-5 on the main card and called the Volk fight perfectly. Lopez did better than I expected. Volk is just too good. Yeah, it's experience. That's what it is. And just being Volkanovski. It's the work ethic. It's the ability. It's everything. That's why he was able to, beat time for now on that night at 3:14. It's because he's that good, Good to see you though, K-Dot. Abhinav as well. How you doing, brother? Paddy or Armin, who wins? I still go Armin in that fight, just because of the wrestling. But Paddy's huge for lightweight. I said this in my fight predictions and the build-up. In the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about this. Paddy is huge for lightweight. He is big. Like, he was out, I know he got taken down a couple of times against Chandler, but he didn't struggle to get back up at all. Paddy was really, really using his size well, though. Heart says Paddy, brain says Paddy. Fairs. Good to see you, Bush. How you doing, brother? Has Volk ever lost a decision which wasn't controversial and couldn't be argued as a robbery against Volk? Lost a decision which wasn't controversial. No. The only decision he's lost in the UFC is to Makhachev at 284. And this one now. And he didn't even lose that one. I don't think the Makhachev one was controversial. It was a close fight. I think Makhachev pretty convincingly did enough, in my opinion. But again, it wasn't. You can only really call that a fight like that controversial as if it's a robbery one way or another, and it wasn't that. It was a close fight at worst, and a fairly clear victory from Makhachev at best, or the other way around, depending on how you look at it. But there was never a controversy with that call, in my opinion. It could have gone either way, and I wouldn't have been mad. I would have been surprised if Volk got it, if I'm honest with you. I thought Makhachev, when I watched that live for 284. When Volk fought Islam the first time, I would have been shocked if Volk got his hand raised, in my opinion, in that moment. But everyone's got their own opinions. Here we are. I only bet on Paddy 2. Paddy by win made me 390. Damn, I didn't put that much, bro. I only bet a little bit, bro. I'm not a huge gambler. I made like 20 quid. I don't bet a lot. I like to keep my money rather than lose it. So usually I make money because I just bet rarely, and I bet when I'm pretty confident. And Paddy's victory over Chandler was one of those moments. Unequivocally. If he beats Evloev, Volk should retire. 100%, but he won't. He won't. This is what it is. He actually said this. He had a sit-down in the build-up for Media Week and all that. Volkanovski had a sit-down with Adam Catterall, right? If you don't know him, TNT Sports presenter, interviewer. You'll recognize him if you don't know him. And they were doing a watch back of his UFC career and his, most notable UFC moments, right? And they were talking about the Makhachev rematch, taking that fight on short notice and, of course, losing it via head kick in the first round. And he made a very good point, and it's what I've said before about Volkanovski, but not just him. I've said this about many guys who reach the top and stay there. The greats of this game, it's a double-edged sword with their mindset, their work ethic, because they're always going to be pushing and pushing to be the best. And it's the same mental sort of intangible feeling and emotion and drive that these guys have that takes them to the top, that is inevitably their decline. And it will be the same with Volkanovski. I don't think he's going to retire until he's not going to retire on top. That's why most guys don't, to be honest with you. Why would you? For money, even money aside, financially, right? If you take that out of the equation, these guys still wouldn't retire on top because they want to keep proving they're the best. That's what it is. They want to chart a legacy, and they have that innate drive to just dominate, even when their body won't let them anymore. And I feel like Volkanovski absolutely fits into that camp. So if he does lose, I'm sure he will retire, but he's not going to retire with the belt. I'll tell you that much. It all depends on if JDM wins at 315. If not, Topuria, Islam, and DDP Hamzat, co-main in Abu Dhabi. What a banger card that would be. What a banger card. Holy shit. To be honest with you, I don't think they'd put them on the same card just because of how big of a star Hamzat is. I think they're just going to wait until Hamzat is fit already, and so is DDP, and they'll make that fight for a separate pay-per-view. You can't... That's like a UFC 300 main and co-main, caliber matchup. You need both of those on separate cards. I mean, I'd love to have them on the same night. Wouldn't that be fucking awesome? But if I'm Dana White and Hunter Campbell and the rest of the UFC matchmakers, I want those on separate pay-per-views, especially in an era where we're lacking star power and pay-per-view sales. Both those fights could sell some pay-per-views, right? So I'd want them on two different cards. But as a fan, fuck it. I would absolutely love that. Evloev fight would be a massacre. Volk would show Movzar what a real predator looks like. I actually disagree with you, to be honest with you. I'll say this. Some people might disagree here. I actually think Evloev's striking is pretty solid. I think it's pretty good. I think people don't want to admit that in the same way they didn't want to admit Paddy is quite good of a fighter. Evloev's striking is pretty solid. Yes, it's not exciting. Yes, it's not too flashy, but it's very functional and he's good at what he does. I think people don't realize that or just refuse to admit it. And I actually think he would give Volkanovski a hard time because of the threat of the takedown, right? Again, I don't know who I'd call for that fight like right now. It's a difficult one to predict, and obviously Volkanovski's only literally just won, so it's a bit fresh on the mind, right? But I might have to do some tape study and look back and just do some research, some homework, right? But I think that fight's closer than people want to admit as well. Evloev is very good. I do not like him. I absolutely do not want him to be champion. One, because he's a bit of a weirdo, and two, he's boring as shit. But he is a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. There's a reason he's at this level. There's a reason he can't get a fight. It's because no one wants to fight him. You know? That's a surefire sign that you're doing something right in the cage in terms of beating people. Because you are a dominant force. He's good for a reason. I do think Allen beat him. I do think Arnold Allen should have got that decision, and Evloev shouldn't be undefeated. But this is the state of the game we're in. So, we'll see. But, I would really hope Volkanovski got it done. That's wishful thinking, but we'll see. Honestly, does JDM win against Belal? I don't think so, no. I really don't understand. Listen, I like JDM a lot. I think he's got great striking, good boxing, but he's quite one-dimensional. He's quite a one-dimensional fighter. I'm going to say that. His grappling is severely lackluster, in my opinion. I mean, Gilbert Burns was absolutely wrestle-fucking him until about the last minute of their fight. And to be fair, he timed a beautiful knee, and that's where the experience on the feet with the striking kicks in, right? That's where he had that success, and that's where it mattered. He found that knee and timed it on Gilbert Burns' takedown. But if we're looking at how it goes against Belal, I don't think he's going to find that same shot. Belal is much better at timing his takedowns, in my opinion. And I think he's going to struggle on the grappling. I really do. I think Belal is going to work him down. But we'll see. Balal's no spring chicken. There's an interesting factor to that too. If you want to lean towards JDM or give him some kind of path to victory, Belal is 36 years of age now. He's getting on. He's definitely not in his prime anymore. It makes it all the more impressive that he won the belt when he did against a guy who was very much in his prime in Leon Edwards. So we'll see. But I'm intrigued by the matchup for sure. I would like JDM to win the belt purely for the potential of an Islam Makhachev fight moving up to welterweight. I like the sound of that. But I want Topuria Makhachev first more than anything. What it do, Steve? Taking a page out of Bedtime's book, I see. How you doing, brother? Blink's right. If Evelyn ever said Jaddy Sniper locked on you. Shut the fuck up, bro. How about JDS? How good was JDS? I'm assuming you're talking about Junior Dos Santos. Obviously, I'm not going to lie to you guys and say I was watching mixed martial arts when Junior Dos Santos was fighting in his prime. But obviously, looking back and watching his highlights, guy was an animal. Had a lot of great fights. One of the last good, proper scrappers, I think, in the upper weight classes, And of course, he won the belt. Unless I'm mistaken. Pretty sure he won the belt, right? If I'm wrong, this is a fraud check right now. Who did he beat? Did he beat Shogun? Was it Shogun he beat to win the belt? Or Arlovsky? Or I can't, one of the two, right? No, he beat Kane. Of course he beat Kane, bro. See, that was when C-Level Kane happened, bro. If I'm not mistaken, right? And then obviously he did lose it to Kane as well, yeah. My bad. Wasn't fucking Shogun. What am I talking about Shogun, bro? Jesus, he's a heavyweight. Then again, Shogun has fought a heavyweight as well. So, casual check. Ignore me, fellas. Pitbull's overrated. Now he's just old as well, Bush. Age catches up to us. I guarantee you, maybe not against Jair, but he'd have some better success in the UFC if he didn't join now, instead of doing it early. He should have done it earlier. Bilal and Volk broke the curses. I think it was lightweight and below, not welterweight and below. So I'm not sure if Bilal classifies or counts in that curse, but I could be wrong. If I'm JDM, I'm kidding myself. I shouldn't. I'm going to get demonetized. I shouldn't have said that. Pulling that Dagestani butt boy Royd Goblin to my knees. His transition between takedowns are damn crazy. Double to single to high crotch to knee tap. He's just good, bro. This is what I'm saying. Evloev is just cerebral on the mat. He's very good. Volk 36 and won the belt. Goat shit, bro. That's what it is. Ivan, what's up, brother? How you doing? Sure, we discussed this, but Chandler is washed after this. No disrespect to Paddy, but what's his UFC record now? Chandler is 2-5. But again, I said this earlier. He's only fought, top level competition. He hasn't had he hasn't fought on the guys in the Contender Series or anything like that. He's very much been thrown into the fire. And I don't, he's a showman, man. Listen, I like Chandler. Hey, listen, he may have lost, but in that first Oliveira fight, he was one punch away from being a champion. And yeah, you calling him washed, I don't think that's it's a harsh thing to say, but I don't think it's untrue. But even equally, I don't think there's any shame in admitting that. The guy's 39 years of age. Fighting at this level, at that conditioning, fair play to him at 39. Most guys at lightweight are not moving or fighting to anywhere near his ability now. So I give him full credit, to be honest with you. One takedown, body triangle, boom, 1 round gone. Exactly, that's what it is. You get body triangled against a guy like Evloev or Aljamain Sterling, you're done. You're done for the rest of the round. You just are. Those guys are that good, and the body triangle is such an effective technique, and it crushes your abdomen. This is what people don't realize. A body triangle, it looks fine, looks like you're just sitting there. That pressure on your abdomen is sapping, man. It is sapping. Anyone who trains will know that. So that just, it's only going to affect Volk's cardio if that happens. And we saw Makhachev in the same situation do it to him. So we'll see. Volk beat the Drake and Prime Curse. No, he actually was beat. The Prime Curse did get him first. So I guess he has beaten it. I guess you're right. Yeah, to be fair, because he's got the belt back. Yeah. If he won a fight, I wouldn't have said so. But you're right. He's won the belt. So sure. What's up, Kinzo? Good to see you again, my man. How you doing? Reaction to Paddy versus Hooker. Paddy Hooker. Oh, right, what you said on the... Yeah, okay. And Paddy, Dustin can't happen. Dustin said he's fighting one more fight. He wants Legends only. Did he say that? Oh, yeah, he did. Sure. I mean, as I said, I would have preferred Dustin Max anyway. That's the fight I want to see. The trilogy. Do that. Louisiana, home turf, Max Holloway, fight night main event or some shit. Run it. That makes perfect sense. Pitbull's not overrated. He's now fighting a better level opponents. Yeah, that is true, but I'd also say he's just older. He's 39 as well. You just cannot hang at this level at that age anymore. It's just how it is. There's no shame in it. Willie defended the belt at 36 against Till, 30 years old. Yeah, pretty impressive. And that was his last title defense. So, he was the last bit of his fighting prime, or what was left of it, faded after that. Paddy improved so much on the feet. I said this against Bobby Green. He's so much more patient and opportunistic with his strikes. He very much... He covers his shortcomings by being patient. I still don't like that his chin is up and his hands are down, but it does enable to be a bit more elusive and surprising with his kicks and stuff like that. So I kind of understand it, but he looks good. His kicks are great, man. It's the best part of his game. You got me messed up. I'm talking about Bilal, considering he shares the Dagestani's training tools and their tools. Oh right, my bad. Well, still. Oh right, Blau JDM. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Evloev. Still, same thing kind of applies, to be honest with you. Maybe less so with the body triangle, but Bilal will just keep dragging you. And if anything, that's going to tire you out more than the body triangle will. Who would you put Chandler against? I don't know, man. You tell me. I don't know. I just give him a fun fight. That's what he's always been here for. So it's got to be a fun fight, stylistically. Could Paddy beat Topuria? I mean, it's not out of the realms of possibility, Darren. I don't think he does beat him, but he absolutely could because he has the jiu-jitsu to do so. He has the opportunistic grappling. That's what I said earlier. Hey, listen, I'm just propping the question, man. Maybe it's reaching, sure. Charles and Paddy would be a great fight, though. I mean, if you want to say who goes that, I think that's a close fight. It is. But here we are. Listen, people don't want to admit Paddy's good. Maybe now they're finally starting to see it and admit it, but people will still doubt him. This is the reality. People will still doubt Paddy after that fight. It doesn't matter. They'll make excuses. This is what happens when you come across a hype train, right? People always make excuses for why they're not actually that good until they win the belt, right? They'll always do it. So, it will happen again. Everyone doesn't even have BJJ, just body lock returns. He's just taking you down. Volk ain't getting taken down. I think he could get taken down, but I think Volk will do a good job of getting back up, and I think that's the difference. That's what makes him so good. Islam completely gave up grappling in the rematch because he had to... Yeah, I get what you're saying, but stars make fights, man. It is little differences that can just completely change the dynamic of a fight. Yeah, Makhachev might be a better grappler on paper and through resume, but Evloev could very well have more success on the mat than him. It's just how it is. It's MMA, Fear for Volk against Evloev, so do I. It's a tough fight. But he wants the greatest, man. He wants the hardest fights. That's what Volk's always been about. Beat the Prime Cuss at 290. He signed on to Prime in between 284 and 290. I guess, yeah. Fair enough. But he didn't he lose? Okay, no, fair enough, yeah. I did not see Volk coming out on top against Evloev, but if he did get a freak finish, Volk is my third passing GSP behind Islam. What, of all time? You're saying Islam's on the top 3 of all time? That's crazy work. 4 title defenses and you're putting him top of all time. Or is it 5 now? Is it 4 or 5? It's 4, right? Who is it? So, Volk 1, Volk 2, Poirier, Moicano. So 4. No way you putting him third. I know the resume is insane. He's got an insane resume. But I would not put him at number 3 on the GOAT list if that's what you're inferring, Darren. That's a crazy take. Spurs lost 4-2. I saw. West Ham got robbed. I don't know how or what the context is to that. Chandler and Hooker too. Yeah, fuck it. I like that. I feel like Hooker deserves a bit of a step up, to be honest with you. But, you know. Love Paddy, but fighters need to stop calling out McNuggets. Agreed. No one should waste their time on that clown. And you're not even going to get paid anymore, are you? I get it adds eyes to the sport or your fight, so I understand it from that point of view. So that can lead to financial boons, but your contract's still the same as before. I think Paddy in current form could beat Charles. I agree. I think it's a close fight. I think it's a really fun fight too. I'd love to see the grappling exchanges because they're two of the best grapplers, not just in the lightweight division, but the whole UFC. You could very much argue Charles is the best jiu-jitsu submission artist in the game right now. And Paddy's not far behind him, in my opinion. So I love that one. Chandler, Fiziev. Yeah, I like that. Or Ignacio. I put any of those three against each other. Fiziev, Ignacio, I'd actually prefer. Bahamondes versus Fiziev I would be seated. I'll put it that way. I will very much... Oh, man. You're getting me excited now. I like that fight. Charles is massively overrated and pushed. He's not overrated, bro. What are you talking about? Come on, man. I mean, what are we doing here? The guy he beat Poirier. Who did he beat? Chandler, Poirier, Gaethje, back to back to back. What are we talking about here? And that was, good versions of prime Poirier and prime Gaethje, to be honest with you. Like, what are we talking about? Like, how are we calling him overrated? And he's just beaten Chandler again. And you could very much argue he beat Arman Tsarukyan. You could very much argue that. And he beat Benil Dariush. What are we talking about? He's overrated. Current day overrated. Well, he's old, bro. He's past his prime. I wouldn't say he's overrated. He's fairly rated. No one's overrating him. He's clearly got shortcomings. He gets clipped a lot. His chin's not that crazy. I wouldn't say he's overrated. I just think he's just at this point in his career. No one's saying too much one way or the other. My opinion. But Yair versus Lopez and Paddy versus Ilya are actual authentic rivalries and reasonable matchups. Yeah, I agree. Mate, imagine that in a main and co-main. I would love that shit. I don't think Paddy deserves it just yet, but listen, we've seen crazier things in the UFC. We've seen fighters lower ranked than Paddy get title shots, deserving or not, right? So, listen, we don't get the Makhachev Topuria fight. I think that should be the imperative. It should be the focus. But if we don't get that, hey, let's say Islam jumps ship, moves up to welterweight, vacates the belt or something. Or maybe we Paddy Ilya for an interim lightweight title. Anyone speaking my language? Maybe a little bit too early to say, but have that with a Lopez Yair co-main event. You're telling me that doesn't excite you because it excites me. Agree to disagree, but I think Volk would 50. I'm assuming he's 45. Ever will get a TKO. I don't know, but I'm not. Listen, it could go either way. I'm not settled on my prediction at all, so I'm not sure. After that co-main, I've been asking myself the question: is Chandler washed, or is Paddy's improvement that good? I think it's both, Base. I think both can very much be true. It's good to see you again, my man. I think both could very much be true, if I'm honest with you. Chandler is old, so he is always going to be not as good as he was. There's no secret to that. I think that was obvious going in. Even if you ignore his last few fights and how he's performed in them, you just aren't going to be as good at 39 in the lightweight division as you were, 6-7 years ago. That's just how it is. So there is that truth, but Paddy is clearly improved. He showed it in the Bobby Green fight, which is why I was so confident in this pick, because I really didn't understand why people were just saying he's not that good, because the Bobby Green fight, even against Tony Ferguson as well, he showed huge improvements. And his grappling's always been elite level, and that's where I thought the fight was won. So I think both can be true. I think Volk will make Evlo look easy. I think that's a hot take, to be honest with you. Organic rivalries again? I think we got them, bro. Yair Lopez is clearly one. Topuria versus Paddy is clearly one. Even though deep down, I think maybe there's a little bit of respect there. Like, listen, I know that they don't like each other, and obviously Paddy said some things that I definitely don't agree with about Ilya in the past and the Georgian people and stuff like that, which definitely rubs me up the wrong way. And I'm not even the one fighting. It would rub me up the wrong way if I was Ilya. So I get it. I very much get the rivalry. Paddy's playing the game as well to an extent on the microphones and stuff like that. I understand it, right? I get it. I don't think there's really deep-rooted hatred, though. I think if they were to fight, regardless of what would happen, I think they would be all right afterwards. They're both clearly Topuria, I don't think is a dude to hold a grudge, I think he'll just do what he does, man. He's a confident dude in himself, I think I think that fight is fun, regardless of if it happens or not. I actually think it's a fun fight, and I stand by it. I said this before Saturday night. It's a closer fight than people think. I do think Topuria wins it most of the time, probably 8 times out of 10, 9 even. But I do think it's actually pretty competitive. I don't think it's as easy as people think it is. Sorry, I got a bit ill today. Don't know. Lopez Yair is probably going to be co-main of 320. What's the 320 main then? Is that for UFC Noche? That is, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, they could very much do that as a main. To be honest with you, I could see it. I mean, look at Bryce versus Jean. Bryce said he's fighting, has put that many dogs and got put to sleep. He's gonna get clowned now. He always was getting clowned, bro. He said Hitler was a guy to go fishing with. What are we talking about? He already got shit on. He's just gonna get shit on more, and deservedly so. I mean, what an idiot. That guy is. Sometimes I really think he fakes it, but then I just see how convincing how convinced he is, and how much he says these things with absolute chest and confidence that there's no way he's faking it. Like, oh man, he is a interesting individual to say the least. I think he's clearly not necessarily a bad person. I don't think he's evil. He's just a complete fucking uneducated idiot. Like that's what Bryce Mitchell is. That's what a lack of education and intelligence does for you, is you start believing stupid shit like that, right? That's what it does for you. So listen, I'm not I don't dislike the guy. I just think he's a bit of an idiot. Lopez and have actual beef over teams. Yeah, I'm not sure what the backstory is 100% to that. I was reading about it, but I kind of forgot. So, I think 320 main will be similar to 306, where the fighters have no relation to Mexico, but it's just a big fight. But those guys do have a... Oh, you're saying if it, not Yair versus Lopez. Got you. Yeah, I don't know who it would be. I don't know. Not really other... Who could you do? And Anthony Hernandez has got to be on that card, though, right? I'd put him on that card somewhere. Not the main event, obviously. But I like him. I like him on that UFC Noche card, and lines up with his schedule, if I'm not mistaken. Does nobody care about Merab Shawn? I definitely don't. I don't want to see that shit again. Like, I don't care. I don't particularly care, If Sean O'Malley had a good striker versus striker matchup, I'd be watching it, but I don't... Really? Anyone want to see that again? Was anyone wowed by UFC 305 or 306 rather? Sorry, at the Sphere card. But I mean, the card was sick apart from the main and co-main, so ignore everything else. But the main event in particular, Merab won dominantly, but it wasn't a fun fight. I don't want to see that again. They're only doing it. Listen, I'll tell you why they're doing it, and you probably know the answer. It's pretty obvious. It's because they want Sean O'Malley to get the belt back. And they want Sean to be a star again and start selling pay-per-views, especially in this era where they have sorely lacking in that department. That's what they want. The UFC want that very much so. Dana White will be holding in his smile when he wraps that belt around Sean O'Malley if he does somehow get a knockout. So we'll see. I mean, if you're asking me for my prediction, though, Merab is taking that fight again, in my opinion. I think he's making it maybe not as easy as the first time because Sean will adapt, but I think Merab will get it done as well. Dean, your first message got filtered, so hang on. Let me check that. There we go. Sorry. Do you know that Jews call non-Jews... I'm not going to read that just in case. And what is your opinion on Zionism? I'll put it this way. I don't dislike Jewish people. I dislike Israel. Or the people who are the leaders of Israel. The government. Put it that way. That's my opinion. I very much disagree with what's going on over there in Gaza, obviously. Obviously, nothing's ever really black and white in war, but there is lines that have clearly fucking been crossed. Listen, the guys, I mean, I don't want to get demonetized. I've got to be careful what I say. The other side, the certain organization, I don't want to name it just in case it gets flagged, obviously crossed over a line and a response was justified. Not this level of response. That's a fucking line. They've crossed over one line. Israel crossed over one about 20 times fucking further, right? So... that's my opinion. Not a fan of what's going on. It's fucked up, essentially. But yeah, silver by sub was definitely not my 314 bingo. I mean, listen, it was very close to a finish. I would have bet on a knockout, and he very much was about to land that knockout punch. That's what I said earlier, right? Fighting nerds might revolutionize the sport. I don't know what the secret sauce is, right? I agree, but what the fuck are they doing over there? Honestly, every fight, I mean, clearly it's a product of great coaching and great teamwork and great game planning. But wow, the difference is crazy. I mean, even new fighters who go and join their gym, you've seen the improvements. Look at Bruna Brazil. I know she lost her last fight, right? But she looked way better in her last couple ones as she joined Fighting Nerds than before. Way better. And obviously the guys who are smashing it, John Silva, Kaya Barajo, Mauricio Ruffy. Who am I missing? There's probably another one I'm missing off the top of my dome, but these guys are animals. And they fight to their strengths. I think that's a good point to make. They absolutely fight to their strengths, and they keep their opponents where. My voice crack. They keep their opponents where they want them. Like that's that. I think that's the winning factor for them. So happy with Volk. So am I, man. So am I. 317 Jones Aspinall, Murad Pantoja. Yeah, I like that. Makhachev Topuria 318. As I said, Duplessis Hamzat won't be on the same card. They won't do that. Hamzat's too big of a star. Alex or Pantoja, Kai Car. I just want Ank to fuck off. Don't get your channel taken down. We're not allowed to talk about them. Right. Okay. I think I'll be fine. Touch wood. I think I'll be all right. Sean waiting for Murad to come forward and landing his shot. Murad waiting to Sean to throw and shoot a takedown. That's pretty much how that fight's going to play out. Carlos, did you say him? Say who? Carlos what? What do you mean? Carlos in reference to what? Carlos, wait. Oh, Prates. Ugh. It's about the fighting nerds. Yes, of course I fucking missed him. Obviously, that was an obvious one. I'm sorry. Should have said Prates, and my brain would have just instantly locked onto that. Yeah, got you. Bro, these Brazilians have crazy athleticism. I know. It's ridiculous. They're just animals, man. And the most important thing, well, maybe not for their careers, well, I guess it is, but for the fans, they're just fun to watch, man. Honestly, they are electric. They are so fun. Maybe Barao less so, but again, I'm clutching at straws here. He's still pretty entertaining, but man, that trio of Prates, John Silva, and Mauricio Ruffi, holy shit, I will be seated for any one of their fights. I'm telling you. So fun. I'll crank my music on. I wanted to render out the pod before I could jump on it, but I didn't have enough time. And I was worried that if I started rendering out the pod, it would start fucking around with my OBS and shit. And I didn't want that stress in my life. My hair is looking good today. Mostly. Lopez Yaya, backstory. Lopez and his team apparently had a go at a member of Yaya's team, but it was because that person stalked a female member of Lopez's team. Really? I mean, sure, that's fucked up, but let the teammates settle it. Why the fuck are Lopez and Yaya got to get involved? I mean, I'm not gonna complain. It makes for a fun little bit of build up and matchmaking, so why not? But saw the 316 presser. Feels woman bantamweight is dead without Pena, Harrison, and Nunes. Listen, I'll say this about Pena. I've said this even when she was fighting for the belt, both times. She's always been a good trash talker. I think she's actually quite good on the mic. She's entertaining, which a lot of the women's fighters, they don't normally get the platform to do so, for one. But, they're actually, most of them aren't that good at it anyway when they do get the chance. And Pena's the exception to that rule, for sure. She had some good little lines against Harrison. I respect it, to be honest with you. She won a little bit of a verbal tirade. I do think she gets absolutely leathered by Kayla, but we'll see. I mean, if Nunes is going to come back, I mean, that changes things, I'll tell you that much. And of course, we didn't even talk about her getting into the Hall of Fame. I mean, about time. Long deserved a long time ago. One of two, in my opinion, the second greatest women's fighter of all time, but I think most people, I am biased, and I think most people would probably say she's the women's GOAT. She's the GWOAT. And, I mean, of course you deserve to be in the fucking Hall of Fame for that. Let's be honest. Kaya versus Imavov. Strickland versus Whitaker would be nice. I don't want Strickland anywhere near a fucking fight, to be honest with you. Can't be asked that guy. Boring. Kaya Imavov is good, but I think Imavov deserves the shot. Also, I think after Hamzat DDP or whatever happens, I think we'll see Kaya fight the winner. Imavov fight the winner. Perfect English for the first time. She's always spoken good English, no? No, not forever, but for quite a while. Fighting nuts, biggest strength is game planning and fundamentals mastery. People like, John, Ruffy, and Prates are winning because of talent and power, but look at Kaya, his skill set is as vanilla. Yeah, he's just good fundamentals. That's true. I mean, this is the thing. Ruffy is flashy and he is a bit of a showman, but his fundamentals are very good too. For the most part, I do agree. There's always stuff he can work on. I like seeing him against a really solid grappler, but there's not that many at lightweight at the moment, besides the like Makhachevs, etc. Like big wrestlers, but they're not going to put him against the wrestler, are they? If there isn't a Kayla's going to kill you, Chandler, she's walking out of me disappointed. I mean, I think she probably will. I'll say that. If you're asking me a prediction, I think Kayla Harrison will wrestle fuck Juliana Pena into the ground and take the belt. And I'm curious about the Nunes fight. I think Nunes could very easily beat Harrison. Harrison's striking ain't that great, but she is pretty fucking big for the weight class. And again, that could go against her, though. The weight cut is also there. You know, that's a hard cut. And Pena made a good point about that in the press conference as well. As it can get... you're talking about Kaio, right? He's so skilled in the basics, he's a contender. Yeah, agreed. How Abus Pereira will go at UFC Saturday. Is that Michelle Pereira, right? Is he fighting Abus? I'm going to go with Michelle because I've been following that guy for ages. He was one of the first videos I did was on him. And I have to go with him. He's fun as fuck. And he's actually legit as hell. Like, very good. Like, he's been on a tear, isn't he? How many fights in a row has he won? Oh, no, he lost to Fluffy, didn't he? Yeah, that snapped his streak. I completely forgot about that fight. Fucking hell. Kansas City, sorry. Yeah, it got moved, didn't it? Or did it get moved? Oh, no, that was the other card. Other fight. Where even is 316? I don't even know, bro. I only read up on these fights until they're pretty close to it, so... Also, one thing I forgot to say, just in terms of the YouTube side of things, I did actually want to apologize because I was meant to upload my Jiri Prochazka video this week. My plan was to finish it, but honestly, I just got caught up in so much stuff. I just didn't get the time, and the video was more difficult and harder to make than I expected it to be, just structurally and where the emotional beats I really wanted to hit. For one, the script took me a while to write because I was working on other stuff and I couldn't really figure out what I wanted to do. So I started it late, for one. And also the edit has just been proven to be tough. So we've still got a lot to do on it. But it will be out next week. I will do my very best to get it out for you by Friday or Saturday next week. But hopefully Friday. It should be done by then. So I'm going to start working on that tomorrow and just all the way through, hopefully have it done and dusted for you guys. But it's coming along nicely, I can't lie. Gone for a bit of a... Well, not a different style. Still very much the style of content you expect from me at this point in time. Just some subtle changes with regards to pacing. I've just been a couple of times in the video where I'm just slowing it down a little bit. Just letting the audience breathe a little bit more. Being a bit more conscious of that side of it rather than being this 24/7. You know, maybe I'm not like that level, like Mr. Beast hyper, or fast pace. But I'm just trying to find that middle ground balance with the pacing. And I think... with this Prochazka one, you might notice that. Well, I hope you don't notice it. The goal of good pacing is for you to not notice it at all. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. German summary for a boost. I'm sure you will. Not that. Is he the only German fighter in the UFC right now? Can't think of another one. Dennis Seaver back in the day. Can't think of another one right now. Newark. Makes sense. Marab changed that in New Jersey. Yeah. If the Jury video doesn't open with that Jerry scream, I'm unsub. I will say it is part of the intro. It's not the very first thing you see, but it's... best believe it's part of the intro. That was my first thing I did, actually. Quality over quantity? Yes, sir. You know how it is. Losing 18 to 20 kg of water is mental. Yeah, I know. I do worry for Harrison a little bit. If, you know, for every time she fights. You know, if there was a featherweight division, she'd still struggle. That just shows you how brutal that cut is. Islam Dulatov? Who's that? Is he new? Sounds like a contender series again. Oh... wait, he's a professional fashion model as well. What the fuck? Yeah, he was on the contender series. Yeah, I think I saw actually his knockout. Damn, fair fucks. Imagine being a fashion model and an MMA fighter at the same time. You gotta respect it. He's got a very bony face, so I get it. He's very much like a... yeah, I mean... yeah, he I get it. I'm not going to say anything more in case it makes me sound interestingly different. That's not the right word to use. You know what I'm saying. Just have the screen open. It'll be fun. No. It'll be used better. Trust me. You'll see. I mean, I'm still using the scream. I'm using it as more of a smash cut. That bit, you know, like it's just going to hit better. The scream is earned within the first 30 seconds. You'll see. First night to get the belt. Good question. I mean, because one of them's got to do it. They're that good. Honestly, I like John Silver a lot. A lot. I think Ruffy's probably a bit overrated. I know he landed that insane kick against Green, and people are going to be talking about his flashy shit and sweeps and spinning kicks and stuff, but I do think he is susceptible to a good grappler. Barrao's got a good chance. He's just good everywhere. Not that exciting, but he's good. Prates at the moment is probably looking like the most dangerous, though. He just looks very good. Only guy Paddy beats ahead of him is Justin Gaethje. I disagree, but we'll see. Otherwise, UFC is building Paddy's hype by feeding him old men. I mean, you still got to get over the mountain, man. I understand you're playing the sort of pessimistic side or because you probably don't like Paddy that much. I understand it, and there is some merit to what you're saying, but you still got to beat the guy. And Chandler's is still in great shape and can still very much fight even at his age. So it's still a good challenge. Paddy did very well. I'm never going to discount that performance. Who have I got? Oh, for the nerd, I just told you, I think. Prates. I'd say Prates. Technically, he is German. He's German by birth. Yeah, I know. Actually, I think it was Georgia, then they moved to Germany, then Spain. I can't remember exactly. You might be right. Scheduled for Adam Fugit, but pulled out. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, that would be a good fight, actually. So I blow up my comments today. Hey, don't apologize, man. You ain't gonna... Bro, you being here is enough. That's the same with all of you. Lived there till 7 years old. Yeah, in Germany, right. Then he moved to Spain by himself without his parents, with his brother to train. Crazy. Oh, did he train in Georgia? Did he move to Georgia? I can't remember, man. I should know, considering I did a fucking documentary on the guy. I mean, Jesus. I'll definitely do another one in the future. I mean, that Topuria doc, I know it's not on the channel anymore, just to MMA crazy's absolute culling of the MMA community. So I had to remove it. I still have it on there, just privated. I'm planning on deleting it if I have to. But I do want to put it back up. I do, because I am really proud of that video. And that was like that video in particular marked my first transition into the really better, higher quality videos. Like when you can really see the improvements. That Topuria video was a good example of that. So I do wish I could have that back up for you guys if you haven't seen it, and even if you have seen it, to go back and watch. But we'll see. Ellie has three-way citizenship. I would love that shit. Three-way citizenship. That'd be cool as fuck. I only have a British passport. I am 1/8 German, but I don't think that qualifies me for for German citizenship. So, how much were you affected by MMA crazy? I was fine. Touch wood again. But I know a lot of people who weren't, and thankfully they all reached out to me and gave me some more. That voice correct. Gave me some warning in advance, so I'm forever grateful to them. Shout out to the fighting business for making me aware of it for one, having a good conversation with me as well, giving me some advice on what to do and how to go around it, and a couple of the other channels who emailed me as well. So shout out to all of those guys. Cut out the MMA crazy clips, yes, but I don't know. It's not that easy because YouTube it's not instant because YouTube has to process it, so it takes a long time. And there's a lot of videos, so it's difficult to just do that because YouTube has to. You cut out one bit, you can only do one bit at a time, and it takes like an hour or two for each one because it has to process the edit, and it takes a while. It's your passport, the beautiful. Nah, man, still on my maroon, baby, maroon passport. Paddy can box or wrestle, but he has solid kicks and great BJJ. That's what I thought before and after the fight. I agree, and you've retracted that statement, so I'm assuming you now don't agree. I do think that though. I do. Listen, I mean, again, people are going to admit that Paddy's good. It will take maybe one more fight because they're going to say the excuse that China was too old, like Toad was saying, and there is merit to it. I understand, but you still have to win, and you have to win convincingly, and Paddy did both of those things. So he gets full plaudits from me, and I think he's going to win his next fight too, unless it's against a top guy, in my opinion. But we'll see. But at the moment, the undefeated run continues. Check general. Imagine this card never fell apart. Where? Where am I looking? I'm in the general chat. Oh, 200 went off without a hitch. Yeah, sorry, I had to scroll up. Cormier Jones. Yes, I mean, obviously, for the rematch. McGregor Diaz 2. Yes, I mean, we know how good their second fight was. Michite Nunes defending when she defended her belt. Yeah, I mean, that did happen anyway, didn't it? Aldo Edgar, yeah, that happened anyway. That was already, those two cards were already there. Fights were already there, so sure. Lesnar Mark Hunt, yeah, we had that too. I mean, that main card, of course, it was really the first two big fights, right, that fell out. So, Cain Velasquez, Travis Brown, you hear? Zingano Pena, Hendricks Gastelum was a banger, especially back then. Dillashaw Asunsao, yeah, that would have been a great one back in the day. Sage Northcutt, yeah, I like all of these, man. Jim Miller, Takanori Gomi, what a fight that is. Fucking hell. What's your schedule like every day? Honestly, it varies, man. It varies. I'll give you a typical rundown of things that I usually do, or a rough schedule, because again, it's pretty fluid, and sometimes things come up and I can't do certain things, or I have to push stuff back. But generally speaking, if I haven't written a script for my upcoming video, Monday and Tuesday. Monday, ideally Monday and tops Tuesday take up my script writing day. So that my scripts are usually about, depends on the video, but if the script video is like 25 minutes long, a ballpark script will be like 2,500 words. So I'll usually write that in a day or two. After that, I start the edit, or I'll record an edit and start doing that from Wednesday to Friday. And then Saturday is my day off. I don't do anything on Saturdays. Sometimes I do because I'm a bit of a, you know what I mean? I can't help myself sometimes, but I try not to do anything on Saturdays. And then Sundays I do, Thursdays I stream, of course, as well, on top of starting my edit. Friday's the same with work, just grinding out the edit. Saturday is day off. Sunday I do the podcast. Usually, sometimes we have to move the day, but usually the podcast on Sunday, along with the stream, general admin, idea generation, stuff like that. Again, amidst all of this, I'm always doing little things like making thumbnails here and there, or writing stuff down, just little things. You know, it's passive work, if that makes any sense, just small details. So I'm always got my brain switched on in some capacity. And then Monday we go again. And if I have got the script right, we just go straight back into the edit and carry on. Editing definitely takes up the most time. But again, it's quite fluid. So I'm always, some days, like if we have an in-studio episode of the pod, that might be midweek. So I have one less day on my edit, so I have to push stuff back or adapt for it. So, or I might have something on in my personal life that's going on that I have to just deal with, or shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just life stuff, you know? So, but this is what's great about what I do, and that's all thanks to all of you, is that I have the flexibility to do this. I can do stuff when I want to do it. I could go and travel and work while I'm out there, and that's something I've been planning on doing. I've talked about a trip to New York and hanging out there for a little bit, maybe 2 weeks to a month, and I'd work while I'm out there to get a video out for you guys whilst enjoying my time in America. So it's just, again, at the moment, just food for thought, pipe dreams, but this is what this job allows me to do, and that's all thanks to all of you. Paddy is great, man. Bro was dominant. Even John, Joe, and DC couldn't believe it. This is what I'm saying. These guys clearly don't do their fucking tape study. Like, Felder definitely wouldn't have been so surprised. I really don't understand this narrative. I'm glad the odds were close. I mean, I'm not glad because I would have made more money, but, you know, the odds were right. If anything, Paddy should have been a bigger favourite. I really, I knew he was going to make it look easy. Well, I didn't know, but I was absolutely convinced. I was very confident. I mean, you can go back and watch our prediction streams from a couple of weeks ago, even last week, what I've said everywhere. I was said very confidently that Paddy would win. I said he'd submit him via rear naked choke, and again, that was very close. He did very much get the victory and made it look dominant. But I don't know why. Listen, if those guys did their tape study, they would have seen that this fight was very, very competitive at worst, and at very, very good chance for Paddy at best. So, am I going to watch WrestleMania? No, probably not. Who's fighting or who's wrestling? It's not technically a fight, is it? I watched the last one, to be fair. I don't watch WWE at all, but I watched the last one because it was quite a big thing, wasn't it? Wasn't that Cody Rhodes and all that, and Roman Reigns, right? Is it Cody Rhodes versus John Cena? Oh, that's pretty cool. I only really fucked with WWE when I was a kid, to be honest with you. And that's because I used to play the SmackDown vs. Raw games. We spoke about that the other week, didn't we? I mean, yeah, Cody Rhodes, John Cena. That's pretty cool, right? I mean, that's the big fight, right? I'm not. You guys know more than I do. Let's be real. But I very much. I will say, I've said this before. I might not find WWE that like exciting. Sometimes it can be a bit, you know, a lot talking. But I guess I get that's part of the thing. But one thing I always fully appreciate them is the athleticism. The conditioning and the athleticism and the risks these guys take are phenomenal. People really don't understand how taxing on the body being a wrestler is. It is pretty fucking incredible what these guys are able to do. So, especially when these guys get injured and they keep going. Incredible. Did I see my previous message? I don't think so, base, bro. No, I didn't. I think it got filtered, my man. Oh, wait. Are you talking about the Welterweight one? I answered that, but that was quite a while ago, so I'm assuming it was something else. So, no, I didn't. Maybe it got filled, which it shouldn't have done because I'm on live chat, so maybe it just didn't come through, my man. It should have popped up, but just repeat it, and if there's any words that might got filtered out, maybe check for those. But apologies. Oh, man, jiu-jitsu has actually finished me today. Holy shit, my body is not. Listen, they say your body's a temple, right? Mine is not right now. Mine is a cracked pot of a cracked china pot. You know, I am leaking. I am falling apart. Oh my god. This is why I don't like training 2 days in a row. It fucks me up. But I really wanted to push for open mat today, so fuck it. And I'm glad I did. Learned some cool stuff from some really legit people. They whooped the shit out of me. But I was rolling with guys who've been training for like 10 years. So, part of the course. That's the difference. Some of you guys will know, if you train jiu-jitsu, no-gi in particular, you'll know, listen, you can roll with a guy who's better than you, but you'll know they're not like a black belt level because they really will work to submit you. A guy who is an elite grappler, they won't even break a sweat. They'll move at 30% and still whoop the shit out of you regardless of what happens. They won't even have to... It's just complete second nature. They don't need to force stuff. They just know where to look for things, for opportunities, and they will find them. That's what makes the top level guys so good. Check stream reacts and show on stream so you can show what you're talking about when it comes to injuries. What do you mean? If it will let me. I was having issues with OBS. I know I did on Thursday, but with regards to just my getting this stuff on the other monitor. I'm trying to... Hang on. I'm trying to change my setting so you can actually see, but it's not working. It's not showing up. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Oh, I saw this clip, though. I actually can't show it because that probably will get me copyrighted. WWE, I mean, even if I could, I don't like showing sport clips, honestly. Honestly, WWE, I've read how bad they are. Like, WWE will absolutely nuke you for showing a little bit of footage. So I'm not going to risk it, but that looked fucking horrible, I'll say that. It was a brutal fucking injury. If anyone doesn't know the context, it's in the Discord. But apologies, I would show it otherwise. Even if I could, I wouldn't. I couldn't, so... But you know what it is. You know what copyright's like? I've been through my battles with the UFC, I'll tell you that much. We're saying Chandler should retire, get a retirement fight? Yeah, sure. Lucy's trying to get worse with time. Agreed. That's a universal truth that comes with age, man. And Shaw beats Ilya and Paddy on the same night. Don't forget Khabib as well, bro. Don't forget Khabib as well. At the same time, bro. Forget the same night. At the same time. Put those three against Anshul Jabuli, and Anshul Jabuli will come out unscathed, bro. Go on to wrestle 10 more minutes and landed back first onto the mat. Yeah, man. I mean, this is what these guys are made of. Tuna, my man. How you doing? Paddy beats everyone at 155. He's a nightmare matchup. I agree he's a nightmare matchup. Do I think he beats everyone? I think that might be a little bit of a tall order, but I don't think you're far apart, to be honest with you, with that opinion. Honestly, I think it's not that hot of a take. It hasn't been before the Chandler fight, and it isn't now. You know, Paddy is good. His grappling is elite level. Elite level. And he's huge for the division. Huge. He could very much give these top guys a hard fight. Chandler... We saw Gaethje, Poirier, he would give those guys tough fights. Oliveira as well. I'm telling you, he would give them tough fights. Moicano, he would whoop the holy hell out of. I'm sorry. Like, that'd be the easiest money I've ever made. Obviously, the odds will probably be a lot more in his favor now after the Chandler fight. But, bro, if they made Paddy Moicano, I would have been all over that Paddy bet. I'm telling you. Podcast 4, podcast number 1. You talking about Anshul? Yeah. Microphone merchant is a good phrase that I would use. I'm happy Volk is back, so am I, man. A best 145 ever? Honestly, he might be now. He might have just pipped Aldo. It's close, though, man. Honestly, it's hard to say just because Aldo did it for so long at such a high level. And he still is. I know at bantamweight, but, man, that guy's still fighting and is still being very competitive. It's tough, man. It is tough. I want to say Volk because he's just one of my favorite fighters of all time. Probably is my favorite fighter of all time outside of maybe Tom Aspinall. And even then, I don't even think Tom Aspinall clears him. Maybe when all is said and done and he hangs up the gloves, I change my mind. But Volk is just a fucking... he's the man. He is the man, and he always has been the man. I'm so glad he's got the belt back. I know there's the Topuria question, and that big void is there, and he definitely wants that fight back. But I'm glad he didn't get it, because I think he would have got knocked. His ass would have got laid out, starched. Listen, I don't like to use MMA math, but if Lopez can put him on his ass and stun him, we know how Volkanovski is going to fare against Ilya Topuria. We've seen it, and that same shot would put his lights out if it's thrown by Ilya Topuria. So I don't want to see that fight again, and I'm glad it looks like we're not going to. I just want to see Volk somehow get another title win, even though I don't think he probably will because he's old and he's clearly shown it. But, he wound back the clock one last time, and it's great. I like to see him just win one more and vacate, and retire, or just do it now. Retire on top is what I want him to do. As I said earlier, I don't think he will. He's too driven to do that, but we'll see. That Tulu I can beat just walking to middleweight top 15 looks so good. Yeah, I know, right? But I mean, look, this is what I mean. he's a guy that just took advantage of the opportunity, you know? A lot of people don't do that and they get on these pay-per-view cards. It's like, yeah, you're on the prelims, but there's people watching. Show up. Show up, put in a knockout or an incredible submission incredible knockout or an incredible submission. And you're going to have people talking about you. Good mic moment to boot, bro. It's the easy formula. Again, easier said than done. But if you got the finish, bro, capitalize on it. Speak your shit on the mic. I don't understand why people don't do it. Listen, you don't have to be fake. Just be the more pronounced version of yourself. That's what it is. What are your thoughts on the next lightweight title fight? Who should get it? It's going to be the last one answer because I am going to have to love you and leave you guys. Lightweight title fight. I mean, it's the easy answer is Makhachev Topuria. That's what I've been campaigning for far too long now. I'm praying, man. Went to the barber and asked for the Cornelius. I didn't go to the barber at all, man. My hair just changes on a dime, bro. Honestly, I wake up one day and it looks one way and wake up the next it looks like another. So, hey, listen, if I shampoo it, the volume multiplies by about 5. So, I think it looks all right, though. A little bit messy today, but it's long hair and curly. What can I say? Can't help myself. It's just how it is. But I appreciate you guys. And I did see the marathon thing, Young. I like it. I like it. Looks a bit barren for content, but I like the look of it, man. I love the art style. Marathon's art direction, oh my god. Bungie always know how to do that right, and they know how to do gunplay right, so I'm gonna look forward to it. I'm excited. Cautiously optimistic is probably the phrase I would use. I think that's the perfect way to describe my feelings towards Marathon going forward. But I will be playing it when it comes out, I'm sure. But I appreciate you, everybody. I will see you Thursday. Podcast should hopefully be out late tonight. If not, definitely tomorrow. We'll see. Video next week as well. I appreciate you. Have a good morning, night, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at in the world. Stay safe. Stay hydrated, as Dustin Poirier would say. And I'll see you soon. Peace.